Papoose being in some sort of secret relationship while he's still married to Remy Ma. She put some stuff out on the internet. Give me.
It ain't no thing, oh, I want him.
Everyone knows that I'm not a girl's girl and that I don't want him while he's married to you. It's not like it was a huge mystery because Remy was already out here with her little boy toy, whatever his name was. And now that Frank has come forth and admitted that they were dating for years, she was spending time with him in public while paddling him around. I wished I had Papo, but he continued to. I don't even enjoy discussing arguments and such drama, but here we are. Boxing is one of my favorite things. If the ring were my battleground, I would fight it out there, but this is a different sort of conflict, and let me tell you, the cost is always greater than $1 when it comes to the truth. He could have waited for her while she was away, but he's currently seeing someone else, so that's life. After making her bed, she must now lie in it. As if things couldn't get any stranger, Remy shocked the entertainment sector by revealing Koo's purported interactions with Claressa Shields, a champion with a big social media following. Perhaps you're too young to comprehend the true nature of these issues, but you should present me with evidence, not just excuses. Kirk Gruss arrived ready to reveal the whole situation. He had receipts and ensured that Remy was not getting away with anything. Kirk gave up everything in order to keep Papoose calm and handle the whole scenario with grace. He confronted Remy. Let's go back to last year when it was made public that Remy and Papa were experiencing marital issues. For those of you who are curious about how this whole situation started, after forming friendships with other rappers and playing games, they pretended to be innocent. Kirk plunged straight into the drama, calling Remy poisonous and catching her playing the victim when she wasn't. Everyone was shocked that Choice may fall apart, but the chaos had only just started. Even more shockingly, a few months after the chaos surrounding him, it was revealed that Remy was allegedly involved in a polyamorous relationship with another rapper known as Bad News. It was done by Papoose. As the story spread, Remy remained calm, but when Papoose finally decided to move on, he snapped. Before letting him begin a new life with a different woman and child, she insisted that everyone hear her version of the story. Soon after, there were allegations that Easy the Black Captain, an underground battle rapper, was hanging out with Remy. When she went viral on social media with pictures and documentation claiming Papoose had dated boxing star Claressa Shields, the controversy intensified. Instead of just hinting at it, Remy made it all clear in private texts. The obvious question began to be asked as the drama developed. How could a woman who had two lovers be so angry over a man? Although Remy had always been regarded for being tough, she picked a fight with someone who wasn't going to back down this time. Claressa and Papoose appeared, complete with her own caustic comments. She also asserted that Papoose, who was still sharing a roof with Claressa, had been conversing with her late at night. You're simply making yourself look stupid, so you can't intimidate me because you're upset and resentful. Chaos erupted across platforms on the internet when someone only had one girlfriend. Although Claressa made it plain that she was not going to back down, Remy wasn't done yet. However, she escalated the situation on Twitter with harsh comments after taking it from Instagram. Regarding Remy's behavior, including the false information she allegedly spread online, Claressa was referring to. When things got out of control, Remy immediately retaliated against Claressa, making fun of her age since she never backs down. I'm not 45 yet, but you're 29 and honey, you're not aging like fine wine, she responded. She went on to say, your boyfriend should buy you some flowers and gifts so that you can keep up the shade. She also retaliated by quoting Claressa, who appeared indifferent and said, Remy, social media isn't a real place. People often do strange things, and you just have to deal with it. Papoose didn't even pick up his phone, I suppose, because he, accompanied by his side piece notifications, were exploding with the intensity of the back and forth after months of stillness. The two women were not giving up, and Claressa continued. Indeed, hostility and negativity are present, but the only thing I've observed is that people are truly terrified by Black women who are naturally born. Then, an unexpected development occurred. You're saying it's not true, but let's be honest. The whole Remy and Pep situation wasn't even true. Claressa replied, "I've been open in all of my relationships with men, and they're all made up because, let's be honest, I'm only 29. How could I even know about any of them?" Just when people believed the drama couldn't get any wilder, the internet proved to be a combustible place once more. I promise you that Kirk Frost was prepared to ignite the commotion when he dived into it. He entered with the vigor of a man prepared to defend his own, and he came in like a big brother on a mission to protect Papoose. In addition to accusing Remy of playing games and becoming too close to other rappers behind the scenes, he commended Papoose for maintaining his poise and decency. He confronted Remy directly, accusing her of being toxic and exposing her for portraying herself as the innocent victim when, in reality, she was the one inflicting. Let's go back to when the problem started last year. When the world learned that Remy and Papoose's idyllic marriage was collapsing, it was shocking, but it was just the beginning. Weeks later, startling reports broke that Remy was apparently having an affair with Easy the Block Captain, an underground battle rapper. Worst of all, Remy had started spending time with Papoose. As further details of Remy's personal drama came to light months later, the situation only grew worse. Rumors even circulated that Remy was seeing another rapper in a polyamorous relationship. Papoose maintained his composure in the face of all the mudslinging and never revealed any shade or secrets. Held steady. A few days before she went viral on social media, Remy went into a tailspin with receipts she claimed to have that proved Papoose had an affair with boxing star Claressa Shields. Papoose's decision to move on and start dating someone else was the beginning of the real trouble. Remy has always exuded boss energy, which makes people uneasy at the first glimpse, as everyone knows. However, she lost control of her emotions and went all out this time, picking a battle with them and revealing both her own harsh criticism and purported private chats between Papoose and Claressa. The tension grew when Remy questioned Claressa, saying, "This girl is supposed to be a world champion boxer, but baby, she hung up on me as a professional fighter." Remy wasn't backing down. The aftermath from this encounter was far greater than anyone had expected, and Claressa Shields wasn't going to back down because Remy's remarks were unacceptable. After Precision verbally retorted to Claressa, people were left wondering how a lady with 2 boyfriends could be so angry with a man for having just one girlfriend. Claressa wasn't done though, and she carried on the feud on Twitter, which kept the internet talking about her. According to Twitter, this 45-year-old woman is acting like a clown, which I find incomprehensible. The conflict had only just begun. The drama showed no signs of slowing down, and the internet was enthralled.
Who you're dating, your personal life, beef with rappers and all.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
To avoid looking foolish, stop sending fake texts. I'm not under your power just because you're upset and resentful. You're only 29, honey, and you're not maturing like fine wine, but I'm not even 45 yet. She responded by pointing out how young Claressa was because Remy was not going to take it lying down. She joked that her partner should bring her gifts and flowers after months of silence, but he didn't even answer the phone. According to Remy, everything exploded again when Papoose finally had enough, this time to the song that perfectly captured their bond. His social media revelation of the facts broke his silence. Explosions that shocked everyone. Papoose had been working on his projects in secret for the previous week, but now that the drama was back, everyone was getting a lot of notifications, and this conflict was far from done. He stated, "Now that I'm over it, she's acting like the victim. I repeatedly requested a divorce, but instead of dealing with things like an adult, she's out here trying to gain influence on social media." But he didn't end there. "I told you that Remy and I were done, and she's playing with a child, not an adult," he said. "We were meant to work together to produce something, but instead, she slept with a man who resembles her huge hat and small head identically." Things worsened after Kirk Frost pointed out the hypocrisy of the situation. The drama wasn't finished yet, but he did note that the double standards here are absurd. Then Lil Scrappy chimed in to express his opinions, and it's clear he's not holding back. "He hit me a couple of months before our fight, and now he's the victim. Just because Remy is a woman, why does she get away with it? He questioned if the anecdote would infuriate a male. Turned into something even stranger when it was claimed that Papoose had secretly recorded Remy. He had put a recording device in Remy's automobile. Is that correct? He knew Scrappy had asked him that way. That is absurd. He learned about it because, although you couldn't actually hear me on the other end, you could hear her conversing with me. As soon as he says, "I'm just keeping it real, I'll show you all the proof." It's heartbreaking to see Papoose and Remy's relationship deteriorate, but let's be honest. It's clear that a divorce is imminent at this point. Exposing their private issues on social media because she couldn't stand seeing him happy with someone else. According to world champion Claressa Shields, a marriage needs the whole devotion of both partners to flourish, but it was obvious that things had gotten out of control. Some fans are speaking out, accusing Remy of harboring resentment and preventing Papoose from moving on despite everything she did to him. After all the turmoil that has arisen, can you really blame Papoose for his questionable decision to date someone else? They stunned everyone by splitting up, although it was just. When rumors circulated that Remy was hanging out with underground battle rapper Easy the Block Captain, the drama began. Despite all the drama, Papo handled the situation discreetly, keeping his dignity while focusing on his career. However, with tensions this high, who knows what will happen next? A few months later, even more shocking rumors surfaced that Remy was allegedly involved in a polyamorous relationship with another rapper. Bad news. Papoose had made the decision to move on at last, but Remy wasn't ready to let him go. She wouldn't allow him to start a new life with someone else. Reminiscent of Papa's affair with boxing star Claressa Shields, Remy had been busy on social media in the days prior to the controversy, posting screenshots and cash. But she didn't stop with clues. She went all out, disclosing private correspondence between Claressa and Papoose that was tinged with her own resentful comments. She went so far as to imply that Papoose had been quietly conversing with Claressa late at night while still residing in her home, a betrayal she made sure the public would not forget. Remy, who had always been able to frighten people with a single glance, called out Claressa, who was notorious for having a strong demeanor, but this time she picked on someone who refused to back down. By retaliating, Claressa severed all connections to the drama and turned into a resilient and strong symbol. In the past, their romance had been the subject of legends rather than the usual extravagant offers. Fans had praised Papoose's faithfulness, particularly when he stood by Remy during her jail term, and he had declared his love for her by proposing to her while she was incarcerated. When she was published in 2014, it appeared to be the perfect romance. The idea that Remy was connected to battle rapper Easy the Block Captain took off after Remy and Papoose were seen together at an Eagles game. A story was given by their body language, and soon there were claims of private dinners and covert meetings. However, when a purported tape began making the rounds online, social media went into overdrive, and things took a turn for the worse. Papoose, who referred to her as his queen and celebrated each of her victories, continued to be her staunchest ally. Papoose's eventual confrontation with Easy turned what should have been a triumphant night for Remy into a full-fledged fiasco. He was burdened by months of rumors and whispers, and when he did, things became violent. Fast-paced blows knocked people out, and security had to step in. Witnesses claimed that Papoose found Remy and E having a secret rendezvous backstage, which sparked the dramatic brawl. Fans who had always seen Papoose as the quiet, loyal husband were shocked when the video went viral on social media. Getting caught in the middle, Remy tried to regain control of the situation, but it was already too late, and the damage had already been done. Kirk Frost went so far as to point out how much this issue was affecting everyone concerned, saw Remy's actions as a quintessential example of an ex-partner who is unable to tolerate witnessing their former spouse living on the streets. Whether Remy was truly at blame or if the media was unfairly criticizing her was the hot topic of discussion. Anyway, by posting their personal issues on social media, she just made the situation worse by making what ought to have been a private matter a public spectacle. While Papoose seemed dedicated to furthering Remy's cause, fans and celebs took sides and voiced their opinions on the drama. This was clearly not your average breakup, but rather a masterclass in how not to manage the end of a relationship, as evidenced by the public's reaction to her behavior, which suggested that she wasn't ready to let go. This drama is far from done, and we'll be here to spill every last drop of tea as it unfolds. That being said, accountability is the true topic of the day. Keep your wits about you because this might be the biggest celebrity scandal of the year. Claressa Shields, 50 Cent, and Papa's quarrel has escalated into a nightmare and a full-fledged social media maelstrom. The beginning was when Remy and her spouse, Papoose, were. Remy generously paid for the 10 men she was spotted dining with at Brooklyn Chop House. But as commotion broke out the following morning, her phone was exploding with frightening information about someone apparently leaving a recording device in her car. Remy's voice could be heard talking to someone else on the recording, but it wasn't apparent who it was. As the story progressed, it became evident that Remy and Papa's marriage wasn't as perfect as many had believed, and the audio leaks fed speculation. However, when boxing star Claressa Shields joined the picture, things really went south. As if the situation couldn't get any more dramatic, 50 sent himself in to stir even more commotion when Claressa Shields challenged Remy Ma to a boxing bout. 50, who had been Remy's mentor for a long time, promptly alerted Claressa to the possibility that she was making a serious error, reminding everyone that Remy didn't tolerate rudeness, particularly when her reputation was at issue. Claressa didn't back down, but rather doubled down after the experience demonstrated that Remy wasn't someone to push too far. The internet went crazy again when he went down and announced that the fight will happen on February 2nd, with some people speculating that it was only for show. She was so certain that she said she would fight Remy for $1 to prove her point. This was more about making a statement than it was about money or competition. In response, Remy dropped her own bombshell, accusing Papoose of secretly having an affair while still married to her. She wasn't going to keep quiet either. Some, however, believed that it was very personal for Claressa Shields and maintained that the dispute started when Remy released personal details in an attempt to destroy her career. In spite of their public persona as a devoted pair, Remy and Papoose have been having affairs for years. As expected, 50 Cent reappeared in the chat to caution Claressa once more as the scenario escalated. Using her previous outbursts as evidence, he noted that Remy had a history of resolving disputes in ways that weren't particularly amicable, and even suggested that she would easily prevail in a fight. Instead, Claressa grew even more resolute, demonstrating that no amount of warning would discourage her from going into the ring. Supporters were split. Some believed Claressa's confidence was admirable, while others,